Doug in North Carolina leads us off. Good morning, Doug. What's on your mind today?
Well, Dan, I was up very late last night waiting for the final episode of Ted Lasso, and I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts, but it was really well done. There's a lot of Easter eggs. If you're a classic television fan, there's a lot of Easter eggs to some old shows, but I wanted to suggest a poll question. In the same week, we had the final episode of Ted Lasso, Succession, and Barry all drop. Of the three, what's the best TV show?
Oh, what's the best TV show? Ted Lasso was awesome that first year. Sort of trailed off. Barry was awesome, I think, throughout. But Succession was the better show out of those three. And I thought Succession ended at the right time because you realized the people in Succession weren't changing. It was basically different scenarios, but the same people reacting the same way. And I thought it ended perfectly. Barry, surprise ending, but I thought Bill Hader did a wonderful job. And, that entire cast. Ted Lasso was wonderful. And it came at a great time during the pandemic where you wanted to feel good about something, and Ted Lasso made people feel good about something. Yes, Eaton.
Yeah, the Succession, that finale was, 3 days ago? Three nights ago or something? I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I was still thinking about different characters and stuff like that. That series was phenomenal. I tried Barry, but couldn't do it. But I'll have to go back maybe and try. And Ted Lasso is like one of my favorite shows of all time. Love it.
But with Barry, just the fact that, okay, here's the premise. You're going to have a hitman who's hired to kill somebody who's taking acting lessons, and then he kills him, and then he somehow gets into the acting class, and all of a sudden, Henry Winkler is the acting coach, and then he takes him under his wing, and then he realizes that maybe he has a future as an actor, and he doesn't want to be a hitman anymore. Just thinking that, like you start with that premise, and you go, okay, all right, you got me.
Well, you know what? Barry is one of those shows for me that I tried and it didn't stick, but it also took me like 5 tries with The Wire, and then all of a sudden it hit me like a ton of bricks where I was like, oh my God, this show is awesome. You know? Sometimes it takes a couple watches.
Succession was great from the start.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. But if you like watching bad people be bad, then it's a great show.
That's like we were just talking, my wife and I, the other day about, I said, who's the best one? Like, who's the best person out of all of them? And you really can't figure it out.
So you're asking who is...
Of all the characters.
Who's best at being bad?
No, who's like the best person?
Oh, I thought that Tom was. I thought that Shiv's husband, Tom, was the best character.
Oh, no, he's the best character, but like the actual best person, like who the worst person, say, would be Logan Roy, like the most rotten, evil person.
Yeah.
Who's actually the one with the best character, like as a human?
I don't.
And that just like it doesn't exist.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they're all just so rotten and so like just damaged.
Yeah, Paul.
I love how Ted Lasso even happened. It was a series of promos a decade ago. Some executive, couple mid-level guys created at NBC Sports, and they hired Jason Sudeikis to be in it for 6 promo spots. That was it, and it died, and that was it. There was no plan for a show. There was no idea for a show, and Sudeikis and his people, well afterwards, said, there's something here. And they went to NBC and said, can we take this character and use it? And they had to get permission from NBC, but that could have easily not even happened.
Yeah. And it was a fictitious coach, but he had these press conferences, and they were well done.
But I'm pretty sure when we had Brendan Hunt on, that's Coach Beard, I think he wrote
I think so.
Just about all of it. I mean, I think it's really his creation, and Sudeikis is the lead guy, but I'm pretty sure Brendan Hunt had a huge hand in all of it.
I was looking at the names in Succession, and Tom's name in the show is Womgness.
Womsgans.
Yes. And they wanted it purposely to, be confusing and troublesome to say. And I immediately, when I saw it, I thought of the baseball player who pulled off the unassisted triple play in the World Series. And I thought, is there any correlation there? And I'm thinking, what correlation could there be? And these are guys from, I believe, England who wrote the show. I don't know if they even know about Billy Womsgans with a unassisted triple play in the World Series. And then the last week leading up to it was like, maybe there's something there with Tom and an unassisted triple play. So I thought, okay, is he going to then win and then the three Roy siblings lose and therefore he pulls off a triple play? And then they said, the writers and producers said, no, we have no idea about this baseball player in 1920 who pulled off an unassisted triple play. But if you look at it, Tom pulled off an unassisted triple play because he won and the Roy siblings got left out. Yeah, Paulie.
You know what I love most about Barry, personally, is that the actor Henry Winkler got another act to his career. And, I mean, he's really important. He's not like a side character on the show. He's a main character. Yeah. And at the show, they went with Henry Winkler, who was a superstar in the 70s, and then had a nice career in between Happy Days and did a lot of movies and TV shows. But to have like a last act or a second act of your career at the stage is really cool.
Mr. Kuzno. There's some wild characters, though. I thought the casting in Barry was spectacular. I thought Bill Hader did a wonderful job. But those shows where you're watching and all of a sudden these characters who most of them you hadn't heard of, like Kieran Culkin, his brother's so much more famous, but he was meant for that job. Everybody, it felt like in Succession, was meant for that job. And thought, I don't know if it's because the writing or how they absorbed the character, but they became those people. Like, I would think they would be like that in real life if I met those characters. Yes, Eden.
And that even just thinking about how Kieran Culkin, sort of like the arc of that character and the way he acted, especially in this last season, how he went from just this super snarky, like acerbic guy to, just so broken.
Yeah.
Shiv's character, same thing. Tom seemed to start the weakest and get the strongest. Like it's just so well done.
Marvin and Fritzy, if you want to weigh in on these shows, go ahead.
I haven't seen them.
What's Barry?
Okay.
I'm familiar with them. I just haven't watched them.
Okay.
Dude, you guys, now that nothing's on, you guys got to watch Beef.
Oh, I started watching Beef as well.
So good.
Yeah.
So
not,
good.
Not a food show.
No, it's not.
I learned that real quick.
No, it's not.